Hey, Bears fans. Welcome back as we dive into all the latest updates on our Chicago Bears heading into this crucial stretch of the season. Today, we've got a lot to unpack, especially when it comes to injuries and what they mean for the team moving forward. First off, some very encouraging news on the defensive side. Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon have officially been activated. After weeks of speculation, it's now official. And for fans who have been watching this team battle through so many injuries, this is a huge boost. The Bears had to place Luke Newman on injured reserve and waive running back Britton Brown to make space for them on the roster. While we kind of expected this move, it's still a relief to see it finalized because both players are integral to the Bears' defense. Johnson has only seen limited action this season, having played just 20 snaps back in Week 2 before undergoing surgery, so his journey back has been challenging. Similarly, Kyler Gordon has dealt with multiple soft tissue injuries, limiting him to just 2 games so far. The hope now is that both can stay healthy and contribute consistently for the remainder of the year, which could make a significant difference for a defense that has been feast or famine at times. This unit is capable of making big plays, particularly in takeaways, where they currently lead the league, but they've also struggled to limit yardage and points against some of the league's more dynamic offenses. If Johnson can return close to his normal form and Gordon proves to be the versatile playmaker we know he can be, the Bears' defensive front could be in for a strong second half of the season. Given how thin the team is at linebacker, having these 2 players healthy is critical, and how Dennis Allen chooses to deploy them will be fascinating to watch. Will Johnson see a full snap count, or will the coaching staff ease him in with rotations? With Tyreek Stevenson sidelined, Johnson's return is timely, providing an experienced corner to pair alongside Nan Wright, who has performed admirably in his absence. The coaching staff will have to get creative with Gordon as well, figuring out how to balance his skill set with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who has made an impact since joining the Bears. There's potential to mix and match players in various formations, perhaps moving Jaquan Brisker into the box as a hybrid linebacker while deploying one of these corners at safety, creating defensive versatility that could make a huge difference in the tight matchups ahead. Alongside these returns, the Bears are still dealing with significant injuries, particularly at linebacker. T.J. Edwards is out for the 4th consecutive game due to a combination of a hamstring and hand injury. Tyreek Stevenson remains sidelined, while Dominique Robinson is in concussion protocol, hopefully missing only a single game. Noah Sue and Ruben Hiplight are also unavailable, leaving the Bears once again with a severely depleted linebacker core. With Tremaine Edmonds on injured reserve, the team is relying heavily on DeMarco Jackson, who led the team in tackles last week, alongside Ian Agbogbamiga, Carl Jones Jr., and the newly elevated Jalen Rees-Mabbin. The Bears have had to get creative with depth, and elevating offensive lineman Jordan McFadden from the practice squad was necessary to compensate for Newman's absence. On the offensive side, Theo Benedict is healthy, and along with Ossie Trapillo, the team has quality depth options to manage the line. Javon Dexter also returns to full participation, which provides a bit of reassurance as the Bears prepare for these upcoming matchups. Moving over to the Eagles, Devontae Smith is cleared to play after missing practice due to illness, and he will join A.J. Brown to form a formidable receiving duo. The Eagles, however, will be without Lane Johnson and Andrew McCuba, their starting right tackle and starting safety, which presents opportunity for the Bears on both the pass rush and coverage fronts. Sidney Brown will fill in at safety for the Eagles, and while he brings high energy, savvy quarterbacks and offensive coordinators will look to exploit potential mismatches and create opportunities in the passing game. With Lane Johnson out, the Bears' defensive line must capitalize on the swing tackle matchup, pressuring quarterback Jalen Hurts while maintaining gap integrity to limit any big plays. Beyond injuries, the NFC North picture is starting to take shape as the Packers beat the Lions in Detroit 31-24, improving to 8-3, just half a game behind the Bears. Detroit falls to 7-5, which, while not ideal for them, actually benefits Chicago's positioning within the division and the NFC playoff race. If the Bears were to lose to Philadelphia, they would still remain ahead of Detroit, maintaining a favorable position in the standings while controlling their destiny against Green Bay over the next few weeks. The NFC playoff picture is tightening as Dallas has won their third straight game, beating Kansas City and improving to 6-5, keeping them within striking distance in the wild-card race. All of these developments make this part of the season incredibly compelling, as teams jockey for position and every game carries heightened importance. With the Bears getting key players back on defense and navigating injuries on both sides of the ball, the upcoming matchups are going to test the depth, creativity, and resilience of this team. It's not just about talent, but how well the coaching staff can adjust and maximize the players available on any given week. The timing of returns, such as Johnson and Gordon, could not be better as the Bears look to regain momentum and assert themselves in the NFC, while exploiting vulnerabilities in the Eagles' roster due to injuries at critical positions. The strategy going forward will be fascinating, particularly in how Allen balances snap counts and rotations, mixes players in versatile roles, and maintains the defensive integrity of a team that can dominate in takeaways but must continue to tighten up against yardage and scoring opportunities. For Bears fans, it's an exciting time as the potential to see a more complete and competitive team emerge is finally on the horizon. Every snap will count, every defensive alignment could shift the momentum, and how the team navigates these challenges will define not just the game outcomes, but the narrative of the season moving forward. Looking ahead, the matchup against the Eagles takes on even more significance when you consider the broader NFC playoff picture and how every game can shift the balance of power. Philadelphia may be coming off a disappointing loss after blowing a 21-point lead, but even with that motivation, the Bears have opportunities to exploit weaknesses and take advantage of personnel changes. The absence of Lane Johnson and Andrew McCuba creates vulnerabilities along the offensive line and in the secondary, giving Chicago's defensive front chances to disrupt timing and pressure the quarterback. With Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson back, the Bears can apply more sophisticated coverage schemes and rotations, potentially freeing up players like Jaquan Brisker to act as hybrid linebackers in situations that require flexibility. This is exactly where Allen's creativity will be tested, figuring out how to blend experience, versatility, and rotational depth to stay competitive against a team that has proven to be explosive when at full strength. On the offensive side, the Bears will need to capitalize on matchups created by these defensive weaknesses, particularly in the passing game. With Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown leading the Eagles' receiving core, Chicago's defensive backs are going to have to execute at a high level to limit big plays, while also keeping an eye on intermediate routes and crossing patterns. This is a critical test for the Bears' secondary, one that will showcase whether Johnson and Gordon can contribute immediately after returning from injury. Quarterback play, offensive line protection, and timing with receivers will be under close scrutiny, especially when the Bears are trying to generate rhythm and sustain drives that can keep their defense off the field. The game's tempo, clock management, and situational awareness will all come into play, and small advantages can be the difference between a tight win and a missed opportunity. As the NFC North tightens, the implications of this matchup stretch beyond a single game. The Packers' win over Detroit has kept the division standings close, and with Chicago controlling key tiebreakers, every point and every drive matters. Even if the Bears were to fall to Philadelphia, maintaining competitiveness and limiting mistakes against a strong team keeps them in good shape for the stretch run. Conversely, a victory over the Eagles would solidify their hold on first place, keeping them ahead of Green Bay and Detroit and positioning them favorably in the playoff seeding battle. Beyond the division, other NFC teams are making moves as well. Dallas, on a 3-game winning streak, has put itself in the mix for wild-card contention, and San Francisco remains a formidable opponent with strong offensive and defensive balance. The Bears must not only focus on the immediate game against Philadelphia, but also on how their performance fits into the larger landscape of playoff seeding and potential matchups. Execution, minimizing turnovers, and maximizing explosive plays are more critical than ever, and Chicago's coaching staff and players are fully aware that the margin for error is slim. Turning to individual matchups, The Bears' offensive line has to provide consistent protection to create space for the running game and give the quarterback time to make accurate reads. With injuries affecting depth at linebacker and defensive backs returning from recovery, the timing of routes and the ability to read coverages will be essential in exploiting the Eagles' adjustments. Running backs will also play a key role in controlling the pace of the game, keeping Philadelphia's pass rush honest while sustaining drives that help keep the defense rested. Meanwhile, Chicago's special teams could have subtle but impactful moments, whether in field position battles, punt coverage, or converting critical third-down opportunities. These often overlooked aspects can shift momentum at pivotal points in a close game, and attention to detail will be paramount. On the defensive side, the Bears' pass rush and coverage units must coordinate to take advantage of mismatches, particularly in light of key absences on the Eagles' roster. Creating pressure on the quarterback without overcommitting, rotating players effectively, and maintaining gap discipline will all factor into limiting big plays and forcing turnovers. Players returning from injury, like Johnson and Gordon, bring both skill and experience, but the challenge lies in reintegrating them seamlessly into game plans, adjusting snap counts, and using their versatility to create uncertainty for the opposing offense. The timing of substitutions and rotations, especially in critical situations like third down or red zone defense, could determine the outcome of drives and ultimately the game itself. Beyond the X's and O's, the psychological element also plays a role. Philadelphia may be motivated by recent setbacks, but Chicago can leverage the advantage of timing, momentum, and preparation. Knowing when to attack, when to adjust, and how to manage pressure situations will test both the players' focus and the coaching staff's strategic acumen. The stretch run of the season is as much about mental toughness and adaptability as it is about raw talent. With injuries reshaping rosters across the league, teams like the Bears must make every snap count and execute efficiently to stay in contention. As the game progresses, momentum swings could come from unexpected plays, a key defensive stop, a long third-down conversion, or an explosive run. These moments are magnified when standings are tight, and every decision by coaches and players carries added weight. While the Bears' defense has shown the capacity for both dominance and vulnerability, having Johnson and Gordon back gives them the chance to stabilize the unit, create turnovers, and support the offense in generating scoring opportunities. At the same time, Chicago's offense must protect the football, sustain drives, and take advantage of mismatches created by injuries on the Eagles' side. Execution, discipline, and creativity will be the hallmarks of a successful game plan, particularly as the Bears seek to control tempo and manage critical moments effectively. Across the league, other teams are simultaneously shaping playoff narratives. The Packers and Lions' performances, combined with Dallas' push in the NFC East, highlight just how competitive the conference is becoming. Every win, every point differential, and every defensive stop could factor into tiebreakers and playoff positioning. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Chicago is buzzing after a comment from SHEDUER Sanders has reportedly left veteran quarterback Hutchinson fuming. Sources close to the team claim that tensions have reached a boiling point in the locker room, and whispers of internal conflict are spreading faster than the city's famous wind. According to insiders, Hutchinson was visibly irate after Sanders' offhand remark during a recent interview, which many interpreted as a subtle critique of the quarterback's leadership and performance. While Sanders hasn't clarified the intent behind his words, the comment has sent shockwaves through fans and analysts alike, with speculation now rampant about possible repercussions for team chemistry. The rumor mill suggests that Hutchinson, known for his fiery competitiveness and strong presence on the field, confronted team staff privately, expressing frustration over what he perceives as undermining comments. Observers are now questioning whether this tension could affect upcoming match preparations or even alter the locker room hierarchy. Social media has been ablaze with reactions, with die-hard fans picking sides, some defending Sanders' right to speak his mind, while others argue Hutchinson deserves unwavering respect as the veteran leader. This sudden stir in Chicago has sparked comparisons to past locker room controversies, with experts debating whether such clashes are signs of growing pains or genuine fractures within the squad. Coaches have yet to comment publicly, but sources suggest closed-door meetings have been scheduled in an attempt to calm the situation before it escalates further. Meanwhile, local sports radio shows are running segments dissecting every nuance of Sanders' words and Hutchinson's reported reaction, fueling speculation about potential fallout. While neither player has released an official statement, insiders say the atmosphere remains tense, with teammates reportedly choosing sides quietly behind the scenes. If the tension persists, it could influence not just team morale, but also the performance on the field, according to some analysts. Fans and commentators alike are watching closely, waiting to see whether this is a brief moment of friction or the start of a more significant saga that could shake the foundations of the Chicago squad. In a city passionate about its football, every word, gesture, and rumor is magnified, making this latest incident impossible to ignore. Hutchinson's ire and Sanders' controversial comment may well dominate conversations in Chicago for weeks to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.